Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Nikki falls off the wagon and a new development arises in Harrison's kidnapping. Today on The Young and the Restless, Ashley seeks help, Summer tells her parents about Harrison, and Victoria questions her trust in Claire. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. Nikki arrives at the Abbott house and tells Jack she needed to see him. Jack invites her in where Tracy is asleep on the couch and Diane in a chair. Jack listens to Nikki saying she's going to the office and says, "You've been drinking, haven't you?" Nikki sneers, "I'm not drunk." Jack says this isn't how she normally presents herself. Nikki says he doesn't look too hot either and complains she's been up all night. This is all her fault for letting Jordan live. Jack tells Nikki the urge to drink is clearly back. He wants to go somewhere to talk. Just then Diane, in a chair, and Tracy wake up. They ask if something new has happened. Jack says there's been no news. Tracy asks Nikki how she's holding up. Nikki says, "Not great," and asks Jack to go talk with her on the terrace. Diane asks about Kyle. Jack urged him to lay down. He and Nikki go to the terrace, and Tracy asks Diane what that was all about. Just then, Ashley comes down the stairs. Tracy asks how she's feeling. On the terrace, Jack tells Nikki his confrontation earlier was not an accusation, but she needs to be honest with him. Nikki admits she drank. The strength she had at the party was gone as soon as she realized Jordan had Harrison. Jack thanks her for coming clean and asks if she has vodka hidden. Nikki says if she wants it, she'll find it. She couldn't sleep and wanted to go for a ride to clear her head. Then she passed a bar that was open all night. The next thing she knew, she was ordering drinks. She stopped herself eventually to come there. Jack's glad she did. Nikki exclaims that she hates herself for being so weak. She knows that alcohol makes her anxiety worse, so why does she keep doing this? Jack is proud of her for coming there. Jack prompts Nikki to contact Victor. He'll be worried sick. She texts her husband and tells Jack that whatever happens today, she cannot drink. Jack reiterates that she made the right choice coming here. Nikki complains that her whole family's in turmoil and she needs to be sober to help them. Jack warns she only needs to be sober for herself. Nikki worries things will get worse. "I'm the one who got us here. First, I letting Jordan live, and then in my arrogance thinking I could lure her to our anniversary party. Harrison's kidnapped because she was determined to confront her." Jack insists, "You didn't cause this." He assures her he and Victor will fix this. Inside, Ashley tells Tracy she's shaky and needs to get her bearings. Tracy asks how she slept. Ashley says pretty well. Diane asks how much of last night she even remembers, and assures her she doesn't care about the things she said. Ashley asks what she means. They tell her she lashed out at all of them. Ashley is sorry and asks what she said. Tracy reassures her and Diane says she wasn't herself. Ashley cries that it's just a big blank. "I woke up so confused and I'm scared." She wants to get some help today. Tracy tells her they're waiting for a confirmation call for an appointment this morning. Kyle appears and asks if there's been any word. Diane's afraid not. Ashley asks what's going on. Tracy lies that Harrison is sick and Summer took him to the doctor. Diane leads Kyle into the kitchen and assures him his son will be okay. They embrace. At the tack house, Cole watches Victoria looking out the window and guesses she's hoping Claire will show up. Victoria says this is like torture. Cole says this is what Jordan does. Victoria keeps replaying her conversations with Claire in her head. Maybe she was fooling us. Am I terrible for thinking that? Cole's been thinking the same thing. Victoria asks, could we be wrong about Claire? Is it possible she's the one who took Harrison? At Crimson Lights, Summer fills in Nick and Phyllis on the kidnapping. She complains that everyone went to sleep at the Abbott house. She doesn't know how they could. Nick asks where things stand. Summer says they're waiting for more instructions from that psychopath Claire. Phyllis asks, like ransom or? Summer doesn't know. All she told Kyle was that they have to help Jordan. She wails that her son is in the hands of two monsters. Phyllis asks why she doesn't know about this Jordan person. Why do the two of them know and she doesn't? After Phyllis has been filled in, she complains that Nick never told her the family had been poisoned when they talked last. Summer just found out recently too. Nick just doesn't know why Claire would do this. She was happy at the party and loved being part of the family. What could she possibly gain from this? Summer fumes in her father's general direction. Phyllis pointedly says the only thing that matters right now is that Harrison gets home safe. Nick laments that Victoria just got her daughter back after all these years. She must be devastated. At the tack house, Victoria and Cole talk over their feelings about Claire. She's been up all night wondering if it's possible it's true. What if Nick and Adam were right with their warnings? Cole asks, "You really want to do this?" Victoria thinks they have to. Cole has to admit that from the outside, Claire looks guilty. Victoria questions why she'd do it. Cole offers to help Jordan. Victoria says that's where it falls apart for her. Cole knows it makes no sense, but growing up with his mother, she was so manipulative. Claire had to go along with Jordan to survive. If it was anything like him, Claire grew up having to walk on eggshells. This urge is probably pretty deep. Victoria ponders if it was more difficult for her to break away than they realized. They agree she felt part of the family last night at the party. They gave her love and she returned it. Cole has to believe she didn't want to be part of the darkness anymore. Victoria's never wanted to believe anything so badly in her entire life. Cole brings Victoria food and assures her they'll get through this day. Victoria can't eat. They recall when she first told them she was their daughter, and they didn't believe her. What if that harsh interaction left an impression on her? Cole argues they were all in once they got the DNA results. Victoria questions if she really did the work with the doctors or was it an act. Cole tells Victoria he has the same doubts in his mind, but they can't listen to those thoughts. Victoria recaps that they had to help her deal with a lifetime of being fed lies and hate. What if we failed? Cole reminds her they don't know to what extent Claire is involved. He coaxes Victoria to eat. Whatever the day brings, I'm pretty sure she's going to need us. At Crimson Lights, Summer tells Nick she went to the ranch last night and got into it with all of them. They don't want to blame Claire, but there's no way she's innocent in all of this. Summer's phone rings. It's Kyle checking in to see how she's holding up. Summer screams, "How do you think I'm holding up? My son has been kidnapped and you let it happen." Nick thinks she's being hard on Kyle, but Phyllis points out he left his son with a maniac knowing her history. Nick says Kyle's not the only person convinced that Claire has changed. Summer says, "You're all wrong." At the Abbott mansion, Diane takes Kyle upstairs as Tracy learns that Ashley is confirmed for an appointment this morning. She'll go with her, she just needs a few minutes to get ready. After Tracy goes upstairs, Jack and Nikki come in. Ashley greets them. Jack asks how she's doing. Ashley tells him about the appointment. Jack's glad. Nikki asks if everything is all right. Jack urges Ashley to go eat before her appointment. After she's left the room, Nikki asks why Ashley seems unsteady. Jack says she's dealing with the emotional fallout from Tucker. He wants to talk about something else. Nikki sniffs that she'll go. Jack tells her she doesn't have to, but Nikki thinks she'll go to the office. "I find it to be therapeutic." Jack offers to drive her. Nikki agrees to call Lauren and work from the ranch. Jack asks her to call if she feels the urge and walks her out. Jack is alone in the living room when Kyle comes downstairs. He's had another text from Claire. At Crimson Lights, Nick tells Summer she has to be strong. Summer cries that Jordan and Claire will do anything to torture the Newmans. She cries thinking about how terrified Harrison must be. Phyllis and Nick assure her they'll find him and bring him home. Summer walks out. Phyllis tells Nick, "We have to do something." Nick fumes. Jordan is going to pay. This time for good. At the Abbott manse, Kyle tells Jack that Claire wants safe passage for Jordan out of the country. Ask Victor for details about his last offer. Once Jordan is safely away, their location will be revealed. Jack doesn't like it. Neither does Kyle. Why isn't Claire asking for anything for herself? They agree none of this makes any sense. Jack reminds him they're dealing with one, maybe two, deranged women. They need to contact Victor. At the ranch, Lauren tells Nikki that Michael filled her in on the insanity. She guesses she wants a drink. Nikki admits she already had two, but she stopped and went to see Jack. He was a lifesaver as usual. Lauren knows how draining it is to live in constant fear. Nikki says, "Yes, of course. Sheila." Lauren asks if she needs a meeting. Nikki doesn't trust herself to pass the bars. Lauren offers to go with her. At the tech house, Victoria is frustrated that there has been no word and Jordan hasn't showed up on any security cams. This is agony. Cole is sure Jordan is getting pleasure out of torturing them. Victoria can't understand why she dragged the Abbotts into this. Cole says it's because of Summer, and there's no logic when it comes to Jordan. Victoria has to believe Claire is innocent, which means she's in danger. I can't lose my daughter again. Jack and Kyle arrive at the ranch to find Victor's team has come up empty. They tell him about the text referencing his previous offer. Victor says he lured her into a trap by offering to send her to France. Jack says she's hoping to finally get it. Kyle complains that she's using his son to get it. There's been no mention of Claire. Victor thinks that means that Claire wasn't involved in any of this. At the Abbott mansion, Ashley tells Tracy she's terrified. Tracy reassures her. Finding out what's wrong with her is the first step in getting better. You're doing the right thing. You've got this, and I'm right there with you. She pulls her into a hug. In Crimson Lights, Phyllis gets upset thinking about Harrison. Nick tells her Jordan didn't beat them last time and she won't this time. Phyllis just wants to lash out. Nick feels the same way. Phyllis also wants to hug their daughter. Our baby is so scared about her own baby. Nick says we have to find her boy and bring him home. At the Abbott mansion, Summer goes up to Harrison's room, opens the door, and touches his pillow. Picking up his toy fox, she sadly strokes it. Sitting on the bed, Summer cries. At the ranch, Victor tells Jack and Kyle he'll stand by the deal as long as Harrison is safe. Kyle complains that they will only release him once Jordan is gone. Victor asks Kyle to tell them from him that the deal stands, but only if they deliver Harrison to them safely first.